Okay, so here we go. We are recording the Spanish. We are recording this moment where we are showing how this Spanish sentence is color coded. Tyrant, can you please tell me in a few sentences what you just learned with me in the past few moments in English for English?
I learned how to indicate words in red, to locate the silent sounds, and that will better help me as I read certain words and as I instruct within teaching my kids how to do the same.
Okay, so now let's talk about this Spanish version of the same sentence. Can you tell me what pops to your mind as far as what colors you see versus English coding and Spanish color coding motifs?
Yeah, I see green.
You see green. So the the main color in the English vowel, in the Spanish vowels is what color?
Green.
Green. Is it consistent?
Yes.
Do you see an A in green somewhere?
Yes.
And do you see that other A anywhere else on green again?
Yes.
What other letters can you say that are green that you see repeated all over the place?
Okay, I see A, I see E, and I.
Okay, very good. Now, do you know that the I in English doesn't sound like I in Spanish?
Right.
Okay, it sounds like E.
Right.
Right. Let's go back to the English sign where you had the word technique.
Okay.
Do you remember the word technique?
Uh-huh.
Can you divide it into two syllables for me?
Technique.
So in the syllable nick, can you spell it for me?
Yes. N-I-Q.
N-I-Q and then U-E, right?
U-E, right.
So, spell it completely.
Okay, N-I-Q-U-E.
Do you remember, how many letters is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And how many do you pronounce only out of those 5 letters?
3.
3. Now, what is the color of the vowel in nick?
Green.
Green. What is the sound of that vowel in the syllable nick?
It's C. It sounds like the Nick.
Sounds like
Nick.
E.
E.
Like,
oh, E. Yeah.
like
that's
E.
The vowel. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It sounds like E, right?
I. Right. Before that's I. Yeah. E.
So it sounds like E. And what color is it?
Green.
Green. But let's just say, for whatever reason, it was coded in blue. Go to the word right. What is the color of the I in right?
Blue.
Blue. The color of blue is associated in this technology with the long English vowel sounds. It requires 2 green sounds to make an English long sound, meaning I is built by the A plus the E. Together you say I. So now you know that I in blue can be utilized in the word right. Is it color coded correctly? Yes, but can we then put a blue I in the syllable nick and be correct in the pronunciation?
No.
Good answer. Say no. Stay right there. Good. No. Good job. So now that you answered no, can you tell me why?
Because it's 2 different sounds.
Thank you. 2 different sounds. Same letter, 2 different sounds. What is the clue in knowing what will be the correct sound for each?
What would be the blue? It's the sound of it. The sound of the letter.
The sound of the letter. Now you can know that it's associated with either green or blue, right?
Right.
In blue, what would be the sound?
As far as English, great. Yeah.
In English, the word right has an I.
I.
So the sound will be I.
Right.
And in nick, what would be the sound of the same letter?
E.
E. Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
If you don't know how to read Spanish, can you confuse an E for an I?
Yeah.
Yes. And can you say that if you didn't know English and you read the green E in nick as a blue I, you would change the meaning of the sound of that syllable?
Yes.
Tell me, what will be the sound if instead of E, it will be I?
Right, it would be I.
It will be, how would it sound that? Nike. Why are you laughing? Why are you so happy laughing about these ideas?
It sounds weird to me.
It will sound weird, right? So instead of saying Nick, you will say Nike.
It's not the proper pronunciation of the word.
Would you have changed even the meaning of what you're talking about?
Yeah.
First you're talking about technique. Now you're talking about technique.
Right.
We're talking about maybe Nike shoes, techno suave style?
Right.
Or what are we talking about, right?
Right.
It confuses the whole concept, right?
Right.
How do you find this information that you're learning with me useful for the rest of your life?
How do I find this information? Just pretty much how to break down vowels and how to indicate, like I said, in the English language and the Spanish language, how to indicate the silent word and the letter itself.
Okay. Is there any advice to close this interview that you would like to give other parents like you who care about your children and their children for their future education and not keeping them in the English only trap?
What I will say is always best to expand your mind, meaning when it comes to, sometimes our minds are clouded, which means, what I mean by that, we're stuck on one thing, like we're stuck on English, and we don't want to just learn things outside of that, because if that's your native language, you're stuck. That's all you want to do. So you have to expand your mind and learn every other different language that will help you, and that way you can pass down whatever you learn. If you were to pass it down to someone else, that will help them.
In Southern California, where your children are growing, what other languages can they benefit from?
Spanish, French, any other Asian language, you name it, it's here. So it's best to really learn everything you can.
So do you think that Southern California would be the best place to implement this technology so we can empower the communities to become multilingual?
It's one of the best countries to learn. It's one of the best countries that will allow you to learn, but I'm pretty sure, of course, in other countries, they're predominantly, the dominant language will be their language if you were to go there, but it's, you have the free will, more so, in America,
Can I ask you this? Let's just say, for example, you had to immigrate to Mexico,
right,
and you don't know the language.
Right.
Would it be difficult for you upon arriving to Mexico, for example, or Colombia or Venezuela? Would it be difficult for you to adjust upon arrival if you don't know the local language?
Yes, because if you don't understand anything, especially within the language, if you were to go to a certain part in that country, you can get lost and you can put yourself at risk.
Correct. Okay, so now, do you think that at least in your mind with this technology, now you can feel more comfortable in wanting to go to other countries because now in your mind you have these special tools or specialized techniques that can help you begin to decode the sounds of the letters in the words that are alien to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. You pretty much, like you said, you want to prepare yourself. You know what I'm saying? And this is the best way of learning a different language is preparation for life.
All right. So let's give an advice to your Southern California community, students, parents, people who are your co-workers who may see one day this video. What would you tell them as far as letting them know that the option to become multilingual already is here?
What I will say, the best advice that I can give is expand your mind with different languages. That way you won't be standing still. Life is about progression, and through progression we have to do certain things to progress. And if it takes learning a different language and understanding that language, then you understand that person. So it's always best to learn something new, and this is a great way of learning.
Wonderful.
This is education right here.
Wonderful. So do you agree that Uber is doing a good job at letting me drive people around and teaching them as I drive them?
Yes. You know, God places certain people in certain positions, and this is a great position because you're helping both ways. You're helping that person get to their destination, and through, you know, get them from point A to point B or C, and then also you're helping them learn something as well if they're willing to learn. And more likely people are willing to learn, because why not learn? You know, like I said, life is about progression. So through progression we learn through experiences, and this is a great experience. I'm learning. I can share it now from what I learned through this, through what I've been taught. I can share it down. I can pass it down to my kids, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So
very nice. So if anybody's interested to know more about this technology, just Google my name, Imaginhr, Imaginhr, or dive into littlesystems.com and become a subscriber and be ready to start receiving the blessings of the power of knowledge and multi-language communication skills in this conversation. And I appreciate that you gave me the opportunity to share this moment with the world.